All right, day 23. As you can tell, it's a bit of a wet morning. The good news is we got packed up just about done before it started raining. So that was cool. That was good. We'll see how we do today. It's a little over 10 miles, almost 3,400 feet of elevation climb to reach Clingmans Dome. Interesting points. We had another bear visit last night. I didn't wake up, but the guy next to me said he did about just after 3 in the morning. Bear came walking by our tents. Yeah, so another interesting point was we had a ridge runner. For those who don't know, that's the people who kind of work the trails. Come by, stop at each tent, talking to us, and basically saying, you best be off the trail by the end of the day. It was pretty dire, like, wow, okay, fine. And he was telling us if we didn't know where to get off the trail, and if we need help, there'll be rangers available at the trail exits. So I'm like, well, I'm expecting a little weather, but what? Anyways, we'll see. One of the debates is, you know, how is the weather going to be? You know, after we get off trail, is it going? What about tomorrow? And do we need to take a zero? If we do take a zero, it'd probably be good for my body, but would kind of mess up our planning because we need to start the next second half of the Smokies, and once you start it, you pretty much stay on it till the end, which I think is 4 days. And yeah, we'll have to figure that out. I don't know. So on day 23, we leave Derrick Knob shelter, head to Clingmans Dome, where we hope to meet Vanish. There is no actual meeting point at Clingmans Dome, but there's a pretty short hike from the trail to where it meets, where the public can walk up to the dome. And the parking is about, I guess, a quarter mile or so down the hill. But yeah, so that'll be a little bit of a, quote, blue blaze for us. That'd be nice. Ooh, shoot, almost died. So because of expediency, we just packed up trying to beat the rain. So this morning, neither of us had breakfast. I really need to probably quit filming while I'm walking on slippery stuff. Neither of us had our breakfast. We just figured if we get hungry, we'll eat later on down, but we wanted to get everything going before the rain started, which we did. So yeah, so this morning, because the temps are about 57 degrees and it's a little cool and windy, we picked the wet from sweat over the wet from rain. So we have our rain gear on. So in addition to not eating breakfast at camp, I decided to not force a business meeting. So what does that mean? Well, it means I'll be digging a cat hole somewhere. And as I talked about the other day, if you're on a ridge like this, let me show you. Going uphill, going downhill. Well, that's probably not going to be the place. So the next available actual restroom, because there's no privies in the, apparently in the Smokies at the shelters. The next available restroom is at Clingman's Dome. I assume there's a restroom there. Well, there's got to be. So, yeah, that was 10 miles away. So that's about 7 hours. So, the question is, do you feel lucky, punk? Do you? And of course, now that we have our rain gear on, the rain is totally stopped. And it's not raining at all. Of course, if we take it off, it'll probably start raining. So I don't know. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine. Oh, it's a nice part. Again, I like the mornings. Why? Because I get past that initial joint and muscles arguing with me, and they settle down and everything feels pretty good. I start putting some miles in, and I look around and enjoy the flowers and the greenery and the trail. There are some really big climbs coming up. Clingmans Dome, where we're ending, is, as I understand it, the highest point on the entire Appalachian Trail. It's over 6,000 feet up in elevation. But we have to climb 3,400 feet of that. And so some big climbs, which we'll see how we do, because our muscles have been pretty worked in the last 2 days. Climbing, what was it, over 7,000 feet total. Maybe closer to 8,000. Yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling. I just wanted to show you a little bit of the trail too. It's actually pretty nice here. An update to my pack and the modifications we've done to it to try to get this to fit better and not cause all the pain that it was causing some days ago. So we've done a number of tweaks, and each tweak has incrementally helped. So the one you can see covered in a black bandana is a big foam pad which raises my right shoulder strap up, and that really helps because it was my left being higher was bearing all the brunt of the shoulders. And then because my body's twisted a little bit, we have a pad on the torso area underneath the left shoulder strap, which pushes that out a little bit more. Then we determined that we needed to pull that left shoulder strap in. So as a temporary measure, we've used my fanny pack as just a cinch to pull that strap over from left to right. Well, then we found out that my right shoulder top wanted to drop off my shoulder, and I kept having to pull it back. So we adjusted the sternum torso strap at the top up higher on this side. And FYI, for those using Durston cockpit packs, the sternum straps are all adjustable on both sides. You can clip them anywhere. So anyways, I moved this one up, which pulls the right shoulder in. And yeah, I think, the thing is, we're not 100%, but it's pretty damn good. It's not causing me a lot of pain now, and I'm pretty happy with that. Thanks again to Buzz and Vanish for the engineering. So the plan is right now, when I go home, I'm going to take these modifications and try to implement them in a more long-term solution. It'll be prototype 3. So going over yesterday's hike, I felt, and Buzz felt, it was very brutal. We were dying at the end. But interestingly, when we got to the shelter, there was probably 12 people there, and they were all saying the same thing. Many of them young and fit, and they were just saying it was brutal. And one of the reasons is there was a lot of elevation for sure, but when you look at elevation, that's a good number, and you got distance and elevation as the two variables, but the other one is terrain. And see, for example, here I'm climbing, but it's a softer, leaf-covered dirt ground with the occasional log in my way, but it's an easy climb. And so when you do 500 feet of climbing on this, is nothing like doing 500 feet of climbing or descending on those rock scrambles that we had to do. It's easily twice as hard, maybe more. I mean, you can make good miles, doing this. You can put in a lot of distance. You don't feel like you're dying along the way. But on those rock scrambles, you just can't. It's slow going. Well, not to jinx it, but so far the trail from Derrick Knob shelter to where we are now has been really just a couple of not so easy, but mostly easy ascents and descents. So I'm really happy with that. If they could keep doing that all the way to Clingmans Dome, we'll be happy. I have my doubts that'll be the case, but I'm trying to be optimistic. Hello, Mr. Stump. I'm gonna grow on you. That's pretty cool. Life finds a way. I'm gonna stop here. We're approaching Silas Bald Shelter. So you might think that those boxes in the back are bear boxes, but they're not. They're for maintenance. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, so there's Buzz's stuff. Got the same fireplace and the same layout here. So I assume Buzz is out getting water. So I'm going to drop my pack. Lunchtime or brunch time. Waiting for the water to boil. It's almost there. So we're having today Southwest hash brown scramble. A little tapatio. We've been on the move from Silas something shelter where we had our brunch. We're about 3.2 miles out from Clingmans Dome, but still like over 1,000. I don't remember how many feet of climb. And yeah, leaving the shelter after our brunch was a immediate downpour, so we were drenched in rain. Hit some really gnarly sections coming up that were like almost had to climb rocks and stuff to get over or down. And I would have filmed them, but they were gnarly and it was raining, so I decided not to do that. Relatively easy day in terms of most of the trail, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'm feeling pretty good. Happy with that. Now that I got some food in me, I'm happy with that. And 3.2 miles ahead is the van, and I'm happy with that. And it looks like we've changed our plans from staying in a campground and to maybe staying in a hotel tonight. Get a hot shower. That'll be nice. Nice warm soft bed. Well, not the van has a nice bed too, but you know, yeah, I can spread out my stuff. Maybe dry out some things. Yeah, because even when things don't get immediately rained on, everything gets damp. Everything inside of my tent was just a little moist. I know certain people love that word. Show you a little bit of the trail we're walking into. Ah, it's Buzz. Yeah, no, it's cool. That's why I'm videoing it.
Yeah, I mean, it strikes me as Middle Earth.
Yeah, I always think that, yeah. Woo! Hiking into the mist. Well, at least today we're not complaining about being too hot. Hello, little tree. I want to put a big red ornament on you. Having lived for some time up in the Northwest outside Seattle, I feel like I've been transplanted back to the Olympia rainforest in Washington State. The nice thing is the ground's really soft and spongy to walk on. Almost fell. It's been a nice change of pace. The bottom of my feet actually feel pretty good right now. Yesterday they were screaming at me at the end of the day. It's a cumulative thing, you know, you step on the edges of the roots and all these rocks, and eventually your feet just feel bruised. But yeah, anyways, they're feeling really good right now. It's fascinating, little ferns growing everywhere. We're 2 miles from the Clingmans Dome and about 980 feet, I think, of elevation. Just so cool. Really like this. Hope I'm not boring you all with the green moss, but man, it's awesome. Wouldn't mind coming back here. So far, a lot of the Smokies I'd be happy to leave behind, but this part's pretty neat. For those wondering about the business meeting, we're still rolling the dice. We'll see how it comes out in the end. This would be a pretty awesome place to dig a cat hole. Alright, so for those who know about this, there's a loop that goes off the trail that really would have been the easier way for us to go. It's 0.3 miles down to the parking. Or you can stay on the AT and it'll take longer. I bet this has awesome views. Oh well. So, being true to what we wanted to do, we're staying on the AT trail because we want to do the entire AT just for our own perspective on it. No judgment about those who do the other way. Alright, we're at Clingmans Dome. We're climbing the iconic dome itself, which, if you're here to see views, doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe I'll be back someday when it's clear. Today, not so much. We're in the middle of a cloud.
I was never nervous. Let's just say that. I listened to it after I spoke to you. It's much better than we were saying it is.
Oh, good. Well, cool. No, I do have to do that. I looked on my